Hey, Feasters, and welcome to the Ask Rezzz podcast. And I'm Jason, or Rezzz, and I'm here to help you get past those bumps in the road, those struggles, in order to build a profitable freelance business. And today's episode is going to be a little strange, to be honest with you, and because it's really a shift from what the purpose of this podcast is all about. But hopefully you'll see why I wanted to share this with you today. The question is, how did you do it? So many people ask me, how did you do X? And you could fill in the blank there with sales, podcast, build recurring revenue, freelance full-time in New York, write that blog post, install WordPress, automate that thing, and so on and so on and so on, right? You get the point. You know that I'm all about sharing. I enjoy sharing the wins as well as the losses of the everyday because I feel that you may learn from them and get value from them. If I can help you fast track your path from something that I've been through, that for me is why I love getting up out of bed in the morning. Although over the years, I've learned that what works for someone else may not work for me. You've heard me say this time and time again. Take it and make it your own. The reason I say this is because you have to own whatever it is that I'm sharing with you, especially when you implement this stuff. Let me share with you some examples of what I mean. Ever since I got my very first computer back in the early 90s, I would look to others, whether they were friends or family members, for advice, best practices, and tutorials on doing anything. Things like zipping up files or installing games to figuring out the best file structure to store documents. When I started my career, I would read anything and everything about productivity to be the best at what I do. I've tried countless number of apps, processes around productivity, task management, project management, and try to balance that with all of the stuff that's going on in my personal life as well. Taking all of that to this day, I'm still consuming, reading, listening to, and watching so much content in and around the things that I need to learn about and the things that I feel that I should know. Now, there are things that I pick up and people that I enjoy learning from and greatly respect. Folks like Curtis McHale, Chris Ducker, Justin Jackson, Troy Dean, and Chris Marr. Each of these people bring a certain expertise and a skill that I try to better my own skill set from. In the words of Chris Ducker, your vibe will attract your tribe. See, each of these folks has a personality that I like and enjoy, and I actually can see myself being around them. In fact, I've met some of them in person, right? In actual real life. But it's their personality that makes me stick around to learn something from them every time they release a blog post or a podcast or something like that. But I have to take what I learn from them and apply it to my own personality. When I start learning a new process, or a new piece of software, or a new strategy, I try to see how it will fit in with my own personality and my own workflows, basically just to see how it feels to me. Sure, this thing may accomplish some amazing feat in half the amount of time and yield a return of 1,000x for that person, but will it be for me? For example, Jeff Walker's launch strategy. It's a very famous and very successful online selling strategy that, quite honestly, you've probably been put through yourself at some point or another. It's very successful for a lot of folks, but it does fail for most. I've tried it myself a few times, and well, it was somewhat successful, but quite honestly, it just wasn't my style. It wasn't my style of selling services or products online. However, parts of it I do like and I enjoy and see tremendous value from, so I've taken those parts and made it my own. David Allen's productivity methodology, Getting Things Done, or GTD for short, is something that I've read the book on, read countless articles about, practiced, and implemented. But the exact step-by-step process just wasn't for me. There were too many aspects there that, well, it didn't fit or feel good to me. of especially how I do my everyday workflow. However, like the Jeff Walker launch strategy, I've taken pieces of GTD that I like, I enjoy, and fit into my workflows every single day and made it my own style of GTD. I'm definitely not trying to say that my way is better than these other fine folks. But what I am saying is that not everything works to the letter for everyone in the same way. We are business owners. We are humans, most of all, with our own personalities. You have to inject that into everything you do. You hear me each and every day on this show answering a question and giving you tips and tactics, right? I'm sharing them with you because you are part of my tribe. That's why I call you feasters. At some level, my personality resonates with you. What aspect of my personality? I have no idea. I would really love to know. But seriously though, since it's you I want to help, I encourage you to learn from my mistakes, learn from my wins, from the things that have worked for me, and then put your own spin on them and make it your own. So yes, Ask Rezzz podcast is about answering your questions with specific strategies, tips, tactics, and everything else. But be inspired by each episode. Be inspired to inject your own personality into what you do. It's your business. It's your life. It's what you are about. Build that life of your own design and live in the feast. If you have a question, ask Rezzz. That's me. I want you to be inspired by my answers. So go ahead, leave me a tweet, an email, or leave me a comment on this episode in Breaker and tell me what you think. What was the last thing that you were inspired from me on? And until next time, it's your time to live in the feast.